Hey guys, how you doing today? So I am back with another video, and this video is going to be for Tati Westbrook. And the only reason I'm making this video is because my son, two of my family members came to me yesterday. One being my teenage son came to me and told me if I knew what was going on with James Charles. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, everyone at school is talking about how he made a straight man try to kiss him. That was him. Earlier that day, my family back in Texas, which there's 2 hour difference, my niece was already home and said, hey, Tia Vanessa, did you hear what happened with James Charles? He tried to make a straight guy kiss him. So for Tati Westbrook, this is what happens when you open your big mouth and say things, even if they're true. Okay, and the reason it really pissed me off is because I too have a teenage child. And I know James Charles is not her child, but when you decide to take on that role of being a mom, not a mother, a mom, and you allow James Charles to call you a mom, and you allow this type of mom-son relationship to grow, okay? And when I watched your video of Bye Sister, okay, that's how you wanted your title to be, was Bye Sister, the person who you kind of felt like a son. This child, who I'm gonna call a child, decided to call you mom. You were another mom to him. Your title was Bye Sister. Let me tell you, Tati, when you decide to take on a role of being a mom, you have to be there regardless. It is hard to be a mom to a teenage boy. They're gonna make you cry. They're gonna make you think like, what the hell did I do? I gave you everything that you can ask for. I bent backwards for you, and you leave me high and dry. Okay? So when I saw before I decided to make this video, I wanted to see what James Charles made and all that. And people were saying that James Charles' video was fake. What hurt me is when I saw, again, he's 19 years old, okay? When I saw him start crying for his biological mom, when he brought her up and was like, started crying, that pissed me off. Because let me tell you, if that was my kid crying, he's still a kid. I don't care what anyone says. And the fact that, Tati, you want to sit there and say you need to grow up, you're going to be 20. Okay, well, listen, boys mature differently than women. Okay, even when I was 19, I wasn't as mature as he was. Okay, so for me, when you say that he needs to grow up, that's one thing, but that should have been behind closed doors. Another thing too is you wanted to bring up like, how dare you mistreat, and how dare you, and you're doing all this, throwing him under the bus, dragging his name, and then for your next video to be there crying and saying, I didn't mean for this to happen. All the while when you're saying this, you're looking at yourself. I saw you looking at yourself. Were you trying to see how pretty you look, or what? I mean, what's going on? So for me, regardless of what James Charles has done, okay, in his little life that he has, he's only 19 years old. He has so much more. He's growing. Not only that, he's a gay boy who's able to be out there and say he's gay. For nowadays, that's a big thing, okay? So he's boy crazy. My son has, I don't know how many girlfriends. He's had, I don't know how many. I mean, these kids at this age, Tati, which you need to understand, or their hormones are going crazy, and whether he likes straight guys or not, I mean, this is what it is. But for you to be a mom and to love him and give him all this love, and let's be honest, you kind of spoiled him, and then for him to call you mom, for any woman to take on a role of being a mom is a lot, and it's a beautiful thing, and you took it, and you could have went so far with this. You know, you could have been like the other one to raise him, and you did. But for you to throw him down like that and drag his name was horrible, and it really pissed me off, coming from a mother who also has a teenage son, who, like I said, makes you cry, makes you be like, you know, you're questioning, what the hell? I've done this for you, I've done this for you, I've been backwards for you, I've bought you whatever you wanted, and this is what you do to me? Yes, Tati. Yes, that's what happens when you have a teenage son. And sorry guys if y'all are watching me, but I'm dropping off my son because he likes Starbucks. Right? We spoil our kids so much. I just had to make it right now because, thank you, honey. So ice cream outside? Mm-hmm. And then the 2 sandwiches. But it just really upset me when I saw him crying. And when she you know, when you made the video of I didn't mean to for it to get this far, the way you addressed the situation, you know, your title was Bye Sister. You brought up how, you know what you remind me of, Tati? When I was a kid, and you know how teenagers act up. They do. They get mouthy, they you know, act a certain way, and then, you know, you act up, and then it's kind of like, wait till your dad gets home, and your dad gets home, and they're like, you know, you're kind of like the mom that's like, oh my God, and didn't I tell you, Vanessa, that this, and didn't I tell you not to be doing this? And all the while your dad's tired and frustrated, and you know, and then you get the ass whooping of a lifetime, and then you come in, and, I didn't want this to happen, but you need to grow up. While you're over here crying, you know, because you just got the biggest ass whooping in your life, because, you know, your mom wants to be over here complaining about what she said. She had to just throw in every little, and even things that you're just like, I don't remember that happening. You get your butt whooped, and then for her, you know, for Tati, your mom, to come in and be like, I didn't want this to happen, but you deserve it, and you need to grow up. Well, thanks a lot, Mom. But you know what? That kind of love, if you want to call that love, it doesn't work, Tati. It doesn't work. And for James Charles, being 19 years old, to have the fame that he has right now, everyone has put him, including you, on a pedestal. And I mean, he's a kid. He's still a kid. I am honestly waiting. I mean, I'm not one to really keep up with everything. The only reason I made this was because my niece brought it up, and my son brought it up, and I'm in California, and my niece is in Texas. This is everywhere. I mean, he has millions and millions and millions of people watching, and for you to sit there and say, I didn't want this to happen, what did you expect to happen when you were saying all these bad things about your child? And I'm gonna call it that, because that's what you allowed to happen. You allowed for him to call you mom. You said it yourself. It was more like you were there as a parent, okay? So what exactly, I mean, serious, like, honestly, guys, please, if you're watching this, tag her or something. This is a question I have for you, mom to mom. What did you expect to happen when you threw your child under the bus like this, when you drag his name? And not only you do that, but you brought up conversations that you have behind closed doors, and you want to sit there and say, I told you don't treat women that way. Why did you bring it up again? I'm pretty sure he remembered that conversation. Okay, so what exactly did you expect to happen? And you know, again, my situation with my teenage son, my sister. Hello, Jennifer, if you're watching, and my nieces. I'm gonna say her name, Angelise. Hey, Angelise. How do you? My sister calls me crying sometimes, because her preteen doesn't listen. You know, you're just like, just put him back in there because I can't take this no more. Calls me crying, okay? What do? I don't know what to do anymore. I give up. And of course, you don't want to give up on your kids, Tati. You don't give up on your family. You don't know what to do. You know, you bend backwards for these kids. You do everything, and they just little shits. They just don't give a shit. This is what happens. So I don't know if you know, you, Tati, when you were a teenager, you were like perfect or what. I don't know. But I wasn't. So imagine me going back to when I was 19. When I was 19, I was very young, and I was already married. And I still couldn't control my hormones. I was a very jealous person. If any person looked at me a certain way, I was very angry, because I was still a baby. I was still a teenager. So you need to grow. Last night I was doing a lot of research before I make this video, and I just see a lot of people hating, and of course people want the views, so they're just hating on you know, Charles and stuff. I'm not gonna do that, because I have a baby, and to me, Charles is a baby. Charles is a baby with a lot of money, and he has fans, and he has this and meetings, and I mean, this kid is doing it big. And for me, coming from a mom, I'm fucking proud of him. I am. I really am. You know, sorry, I'm waiting for my teenager as well. But it's hard, Tati. So, you know, when I watched your video of I did this for you, and I did this, and then you were being so demanding and everything. Every time you were saying something, my son was watching this video with me. I was nodding my head like, like I was agreeing with you. I was like, yep. And then my son is sitting over here kind of like, and you're like, and I did this for you, and I did this, and you're very demanding, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and I'm looking at my son like, yeah, see, she's got it. Until you gave up on Charles. Then that was like, I can't relate. I can't relate. I would never give up on my child. It doesn't matter what happens in life. These children didn't ask to be here. And I know you're not his mother, his biological mother, but like I said, you took on the role of being his mom. So that's all I have to say. It just seeing these videos of bye sister. I mean, I could never talk to my son that way. I would die before I would ever talk to him that way, ever. And then you said, I didn't mean. That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me when I was younger, and you know, you get good spanking, and then I didn't mean for this to happen. But that's what that reminded me of. You sent all this hate, and you're crying. And I'm sorry, I didn't fall for that cry, because I saw you, Tati. I saw you looking in the damn, in your reflection. You just like grabbed your hair, and you're like, oh, that hair looks good. I didn't mean for this to happen. This is a kid, and this kid is so freaking strong that most kids would have broke down. I know it. They would have broke down. And I didn't get to finish the video. I think I was watching it. I think he just recently uploaded. I didn't get to finish it because I was like, you know what? Let's go get our Starbucks, because I have things to do. You know, I have to go shopping for my son, who, by the way, I don't think he deserves it. But you know, we love them. We spoil them, right? We try to give the kids things that we didn't have. That's what it is. As soon as I saw Charles, you know, start talking, I was just like, James Charles, but you know, Charles. When I see him start talking, I'm like, God damn, this kid, days and from hate and all this stuff, he put it out there. I mean, wow, he really amazes me. I could not control myself like that at that age. I'm gonna be honest, because we all, you know, we're growing. And me at 33 years old with a teenager, I am also growing myself, and I am still learning from my son today. So Tati, I hope you take something from this, because all those subscribers that poor child lost, all this hate coming his way, and him with this straight. And by the way, that kid coming up saying, I'm sorry, I was laughing. This kid obviously wants his 5 little minutes. For him to be like, and by the way, it was so scripted, for him to sit there and say, and he was a bad kisser, by the way. You're kissing for someone for a whole hour? For a whole hour? You're gonna sit there for a whole hour kissing and it sucked? Honey, get yourself together, baby. You need I don't know if you just did it to get your little fame or what, but wow. That's, I don't want to say anything bad because he is a child, but goddamn. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Come on, just get some. You just got inside. Sorry. This is real life. It's not edit. I don't. Sorry, my mind's a little bit. This is not edit. There's my other little one. Not easy. It's not easy raising a teenager and having a little baby. But anyways, that's what I wanted to get to. And guys, I want to say thank you for my new subscribers that came and supported me. I think because I made the video of Nikocado Avocado, who I'm a fan of and support, and the situation that's happening with Trisha Paytas. Guys, if y'all like videos like this where I'm just giving my real raw opinion, not following what everybody wants to hear, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about a child, a baby. Guys, god damn it, he's someone's baby. And people were mad at his mom for sticking up for him. I would have done this. I mean, my son would be embarrassed of me. But anyways, guys, I love you guys all so much. Again, be nice to each other. Don't be doing this crap where you're throwing people under the bus just because you want people to feel sorry for you or whatever. Be nice, because it's going to come back and kick in your ass. And I do believe James Charles is going to get all his subscriber back. And I am a big believer that everyone's going to come back and love this kid. It's going to happen. I'm psychic. I love you guys. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.